like a demon. The 911, like the Mini and E-Type, is one of the most recognisable car silhouettes ever. Launched in 1963, it's still being produced today. But here's something that may surprise you. 1972 911s like this one now change hands for £150,000 or $250,000. How could a half-century-old porker possibly be worth that much?
Three simple reasons. The first, it's an early 911, and people have been going nuts about these for the last 5 years. The second is the 70s effect, all these vibrant colours and that decade of upheaval and change. And the third, and probably most important point, is the way this car drives. It's a 1972 911S, and I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But first, we're going to have a bit of history.
The 911 carried on the success of the beautiful 550 and 356. It won races, rallies and hearts across the world. It featured in the opening sequence of the Le Mans movie, and it doesn't get any cooler than that. The 72 911S was the most powerful Porsche to date and sorted the men from the boys.
So you've got all those things, and then you throw in the fact that this car drives this 1972 911S that Steve McQueen would drive round Los Angeles in at breakneck speeds, and suddenly it's become a huge, huge icon.
This is one of the most involving cars I know. Absolutely incredible. It makes you concentrate, sweat, worry, anticipate, think. But it's gorgeous, tactile, emotion from a mechanical object at its very best. The controls are simple, thin, skinny, huge wheel, black and white gauges like dinner plates, really, really easy to see. And already, the stuff going into your brain is Prussian perfection. This is Teutonic efficiency at its best. And you're thinking, this isn't a car, this is an instrument. It has completely and utterly bewitched my soul.
So much of the modern 911 derives from those early models, but there is one huge omission, and that's the unmistakable sound of an air-cooled engine.
It's really hard to put the noise thing into words, but it starts as a busy mechanical thrum. And then as the revs climb, it becomes a zinging 7,000 RPM snarl. And you just want to go faster and faster and faster. The most incredible thing about these old 911s is this level of communication they have with you. Everything on the road, every pimple, every slight bump, every little acclivity comes through this wheel and these pedals and this seat, and you are so immediately in touch with the tarmac. But I think the most powerful thing about these old 911s is that they can kill you in a heartbeat. It's like having the Grim Reaper sitting there in the passenger seat saying, "Come on, boy, just how hard are you?" Because these cars had this fearsome reputation of going completely in the opposite direction if you got it wrong on a bend. If you lift off the accelerator going into bend too fast, you'd be 180 degrees in the opposite direction or dead.
But if you can't afford this wallet-busting Widowmaker, there is an alternative.
Two numbers and one word, 3.2 Carrera. Because this is the secret 911, the one that nobody's really heard about. These were made from 1984 to 1989 and have all the appeal of the vintage Porsche, but none of the really downsides. It's got a galvanized body so it doesn't rust. It's just as fast, it's got that lovely 911 silhouette and the Futch wheels. But it's a daily driver, it's really, really tough. And you can buy these things for around 20 grand now, and they're going to carry on going up and up and up, because it delivers everything that 70s 911S does, but a fraction of the price. And almost, very, very almost, as much fun. Modern 911s have got fat and corpulent and corporate. This is the 911 at its absolute zenith. People say a proper sports car has to be a Austin Healey 3-litre, a Jaguar E-Type, an AC Cobra. No, this is a proper sports car. Here's the thing. If this car was made today, it wouldn't be banned. They'd recall it. Too dangerous, too fast, just too troublesome. This is raw, this is real, but it is absolutely, millimetrically precise and beautiful and works like nothing you've ever experienced. If you get the chance, drive a vintage 911.
I've always been a 911 fan. I mean, this is a fabulous car, which was taking on some of the iconic race circuits at that time, whether it be Le Mans, the Nürburgring, or the Nordschleife, or Spa. It's been an incredibly successful car, not just for collectors, but for motorsport enthusiasts, and there aren't many cars which manage to bridge both of those.
To me, it's the most beautiful sports car ever made. It's just simple, pure, unadorned, just a gorgeous thing.
If you've never understood 911s, never got what all the fuss was about, hopefully you do now. But to be a vintage, classic 911, it's got to have an air-cooled engine, be simple, uncomplicated and pure, and radiate all those 70s messages. It's crazy to think that 10 years ago we could buy these cars for 25 grand, and we thought they were too expensive. But you could still buy that for 25 grand. And the 3.2 Carrera will make you feel better at the end of your journey than when you started, much like the 911S. If you want the perfect daily driver, reliable, turnkey Porsche 911 Classic, here it is. It's got your name all over it. Just don't make the same mistake. Don't leave it too long.
I have to say,